What are words like vokno, vokurka, von, or vona? If you learned Czech from a traditional textbook, you probably missed this. In everyday speech, some Czechs like to add V to the words that starts with O. Vokurka is okurka, cucumber. Vokno is okno, a window. Von, on, he. Vona is ona, she, and so on. In fact, you can add V to any Czech word that starts with O. Let's see why Czechs use it, and I do too. And should you use it?
A tom to je.
Jdeme na to. Ahoj, vítejte na mém kanále Czech by Zuzka, kde vám pomocí angličtiny vysvětluju českou gramatiku. If you hear opravdu, the proper word is actually opravdu. V here is a prothetic consonant. Adding V has its reason, and it's not new in languages at all. When you speak fast, words that begin with a vowel can slow you down. Opravdu, okno. So what do? You can add V in front of the word. It will be like an informal prefix. And this V gives you a nice, easy start. Try it. Say, je to opravdu on. It's really him. And now, je to opravdu von. Now let's say it faster. Je to opravdu on. Je to opravdu von. Which was easier for you? According to this article, adding V was documented in Czech texts in the 14th century, and it may be even older. It simply wasn't written down. Historically, Prothetic V was very common, especially around the 16th century. But later on, it became socially marked and it started disappearing from written Czech. Today, it survives mostly in Bohemian speech. Here's Bohemia. And its use is declining. It may eventually remain only in a few expressive words. Now, repeat after me. Otevři to. Otevři okno. Byl to von. Už radši odejdi. Kde je volej? Ještě kup vokurky. Koupím si oba dva. You can use V in front of prepositions as well. O and od. And in the same way, you can also add V to them. So you would get vo and vot. But keep in mind, this is very informal. For instance, o co jde? What's going on? O co jde instead of o co jde. A o tom to je. And that's what it's all about. A o tom to je instead of a o tom to je. You notice how difficult it can be? A o tom to je, a o tom to je. When you make a point, and that's what it comes down to. To je od Jirky. This is from Jirka. Instead of to je od Jirky. To je od Jirky. You know that Czech typically uses prefixes like ne. The negative prefix is also common. So if you have a verb that starts with O in proper Czech, like otravovat, to bother. So if you want to say don't bother me in this common speech, you would say neotravuj mě. That's because the verb itself starts with O. So you would put otravuj, but even if you make it negative or if you put a different prefix, you could still keep that V. So it's not strictly at the beginning of words. If you have a prefix, you could stack them together because V is something like a prefix too. Neotravuj, don't bother me. Nejoblíbenější. The most favorite, the most popular, comes from the word oblíbený, which starts with O. So you could also say nejvoblíbenější. Moje nejvoblíbenější knížka. I have a fun exercise for you. Look at these 4 expressions. Some of them are already mentioned. They're all using words with the prothetic V. And there are these 4 mini dialogues or situations, and your task will be to complete these mini dialogues with the proper expression. We have o co jde, od koho to máš, a o tom to je ono. Pause the video and work on this. Let's check it. Číslo 1. To je ono. This is the perfect phrase that you can use when something finally works. You finally found something you were looking for. Something is exactly right. To je ono, to je ono. Zkus to zahrát ještě jednou. To je ono, to je ono. Číslo 2. A o tom to je. This expression is used when we summarize the main point or lesson. A o tom to je. Když se učíš každý den jen chvilku, uděláš největší pokrok. To jo. A o tom to je. That's what it's all about. Číslo 3. O co jde? Instead of o co jde or o co jde, meaning what's going on or what's the issue. Pojď sem, musíme si promluvit. Aha, dobře. O co jde? A číslo 4. Od koho to máš? Who did you get this from? Who is it from? To je hezký náramek. Dík, dostala jsem ho včera. Fakt? A od koho to máš? Well then, I have a little bit more information for you, so don't go away yet. Now, the important question, should you use it? That depends. Overusing the Prothetic V definitely sounds too much, like an uneducated person who doesn't know manners. But using it occasionally, with moderation, with the right people and in the right situation, can actually score you points. It can be funny and it can actually bring some spice to your expression, because we often use it when we are upset, when we want to express how frustrated we are and we want to emphasize it. To je otrava. This is such a pain. To je otrava. I actually made a video a long time ago, one of the first videos, where I focused on some easy expressions with the verb to be, and I also briefly mentioned this phenomenon, the V. You can check it out. Have you ever heard something like that? Somebody would say vokurka or vokno, whatever vokno. If you're not sure what is too much, just listen to the people around you, people you trust. Do they use it? How often? In what situation? I'm from central Bohemia, and my family and I use it occasionally. It's not seen as negative because we use it in informal settings, but imagine someone speaking in public, on TV, radio, or giving a speech. Using too much V would make them sound primitive. My advice to you is, you don't have to use it, but be aware of it. When you hear phrases like kde je volej, kde je volej, has nothing to do with the verb volat, volej, like call, but with the word olej, oil. So, kde je volej is an informal way of asking where is the oil, volej, olej. Or if someone says od čeho to je, you will soon figure out that it has nothing to do with water, voda, or vod. Voda in plural is vod, but here is od. Od čeho to je. What is this from? So remember, using V in front of words that start with O is a sign of very informal, colloquial Czech. And it's used mostly in Bohemia. I have a question for you. Do you use it? And if you've heard it, do you remember which words they were? Write it down in the comment. And finally, I have another short exercise for you. Take a look at these words that contain the combination VO. There is a simple question. In proper Czech, do these words start with O or not? What is their proper form? Pause the video and work on this. Here are the solutions. Volba. Volba is the proper word. There is no olba. Volba means a choice. Volno. Same case. Olno doesn't exist. Volno means free time. Máš volno? Are you free? Do you have free time? It could also mean a day off. Vobluda. Vobluda is originally obluda. Obluda is a monster. So if you want to emphasize that this monster was terrifying, you could say vobluda. And that's informal. Votrava. We spoke about this, so if you listened carefully, you would know that otrava is the original proper Czech. Otrava. Boredom, something annoying. Voják. There is no oják. Voják is a soldier. Vozidlo. Same thing. Ozidlo does not exist. Vozidlo is a vehicle. And finally, voblíbený. Voblíbený. Of course, voblíbený is not the proper word. It is oblíbený. Let me know how you did, and I'm very curious to hear your experience. Share it all in the comments. Tak a teď už je opravdu konec. Now it's really the end. Uvidíme se příště. Ciao.